Hello, I'm the archivist. I archive it so you don't have to. Alright, so today we I am going to showcase to you my well, what I've been doing the past few months. I have been converting my VHS collection to DVD R format, so I can digitize it and keep it on my computer and such. It's just a way to minimize the storage capacity. I have a lot of stuff, I'll show you that. Anyway, this is my conversion collection so far. Okay, see what we got here. Here we go, of my converted collection. Dagger of Kamui, or Blade of Kamui, or Sword of Kamui. It's also in comic form, and actually I picked this up in Temple City Library. No wait, that's the library in Temple City for about 50 cents. It's really good. There's been some references to this in some animes, but it says Megazone 2-3. It was on a duffel bag. This is a really good story. It really took me by surprise. It starts out as basically a revenge samurai movie, but then it just gets like this epic journey where it goes all the way from Japan all the way to California and out to Coney Island, where the supposed treasure is supposedly buried. I know it's a far-fetched idea. It just goes and goes, and you're just along for the ride. So yeah, Dagger of Kamui, very good. That was converted. We got, oh, here we go, an old classic. Here we go, American Rabbit. That's a good one there. Basically, it's a superhero tale. It's basically the Superman story. Instead of humans, we got animal-based characters. The title character, American Rabbit. Yeah. Our title character pretty much just lives out the day in the life of pretty much Superman. But instead of coming from another planet, he's actually born on this Earth, and he grows up being special, and then runs really fast to save his parents from a falling boulder, and then just transforms into the American Rabbit. And then he flies off to achieve his destiny to save the day. And then he develops his Clark Kent personality and meets other characters as his Clark Kent persona, and then shows up to save the day as American Rabbit and plays the the back and forth of American Rabbit and his Clark Kent persona. Also, oddly enough, he also wears glasses. But it's really good. I'm hopefully to make a review out of these in the future once I get them all converted and stuff. Yeah, American Rabbit. That's good. What we got? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Gay Paris. Now, this is animated by Chuck Jones. The guy did the old Roadrunner and Looney Tunes animation for Warner Brothers. And one of the lead characters, right here, the female cat, is voiced by Judy Garland, which was an actress in a little-known movie called The Wizard of Oz by MGM. Yeah, that Dorothy Gale. So it's really good. It's about the child character cat who feels that the country life isn't good enough for her, so she decides to go to France to find herself, like where she belongs. That's where she thinks she belongs, and she gets into all sorts of trouble because, well, it's the big city. Of course, a lot of stuff's going to go wrong. There's a lot of shady and shifty characters and cats made of wisps of black somehow. I don't know. But yeah, it's really good. I recommend it. It's animated well. The guy did the Warner Brothers cartoons. Of course, it's done well. It's voiced by some really good, well-known actors and actresses, and the story is it's engaging. I like it. Moving on, we have here's an oldie but a goodie. Anybody remember Studio Ghibli? Yeah. Okay, they did a whole bunch of cool stuff, and the team before it became Studio Ghibli, if I remember correctly, back when it was still pre-Studio Ghibli, whatever it was before then, which was also done by Hayao Miyazaki, I believe, was Valley of the Wind, or was it Princess Mononoke? Whichever came first, I forget. Anyway, Valley of the Wind was a really good movie. Back in the day, a little bit of a history lesson. Back in the day, big corporations, not necessarily anime-based companies like there is now, like Bright Stuff and so on. Studios like Orion and New World Video would purchase anime rights and distribute them. The thing is, like any anime, at times it has to be re-edited and rewritten for American audiences to grasp the concepts a little bit more easier. I can understand what they were trying to do. Sometimes it doesn't always really work. I'll get to that later. This, I honestly do not see any problems with, other than the cover. This is Warriors of the Wind. Okay. Now, what I have really wrong with this thing is that none of these characters are in the movie. Yeah, he's not in the movie. He's not in the movie. He's not in the movie. Oh yeah, and that Pegasus in the corner right here, yeah, that's not in the movie either. None of this is in the movie. The only thing that is in the movie is her, girl, on the glider board thing. Yeah, she's the only thing that's in the movie, and she's not really quite. No, she's dressed right. Yeah, she's kind of dressed right. But everything else. Oh, and the big monster in the bottom. Yeah, he's there too. Actually, there's a lot of them in there. Anyway, the editing for the storytelling is fine. I don't see how anything is read or anything differently. I have not seen Valley of the Wind, but what I've seen of this, it seems fine to me as is. I might have a change of opinion when I actually see the original story in its original form. But yeah, apparently somebody got overzealous when they saw Dune. I'm guessing to do the art cover. So yeah, it's really good. I liked it. It's another war motif by Studio Ghibli, of course. It's another morality tale. So it's good. I liked it. Another thing I've heard about in various commentaries, about other anime from back in the day. So yeah, this is done well. I'll probably do a review on it or a comparison once I get the original. But yeah, this is good. I like that. What else we got here? Oh, we were just good. Here's another. The hits just keep on coming, don't they? All right. This is Robot Carnival. Ooh, from Rocket Video. Now, I got this for $2.50. I don't keep buying this stuff for dirt cheap, and they're just this old gems. I mean, $2.50, really? 50 cents, $1. These things are barely 25 cents anymore. Anyway, this is done by 9 different animators. Um, it's this. It's a tour of just the greats. These are all the greats. These are the people that did Akira. These are the people that did. Printing is really tiny, but the thing is, these are all the greats. You know, the guy that did Astro Boy is in here. The guy that did Megazone 2, 3 part. No. Abab. The guy that drew Macross and Megazone 2, 3 part 1, I believe. Part 1, Eve. Part 1 Eve version, yes, I do believe. There's been the opening sequence, which is the arrival of the intro credits, or beginning credits, which is a giant mechanical tidal, basically. I don't know how to describe it. It's a giant tidal tank that goes to the desert. It plays music, has exploding fireworks. It's like it's just as beautiful as it is deadly, because it keeps like killing people. It's introduced how big and epic thing is. We have a Frankenstein story. We have a Disney-esque story, which is the one on the cover. That's where that art's come from. It's from it takes all the different theme parks and kind of smushes them all together. It draws a lot from Disneyland. We have a rescue. Oh, sorry. The Disneyland one is the basically there's no dialogue. There's hardly any dialogue in these. There's like 2 or whatever that actually has English dialogue. I will get to that. Yeah. Yeah. So the Disneyland story pretty much is about this girl who finds out that her boyfriend is cheating on her with her best friend. It's all really good music. It's all hydrophonic, whatever. It's all done with keyboard, keyboard sound. It just turns into like this big sci-fi fantasy where she starts flying through the air. She goes onto a ride and then she starts flying through the air, and this robotic mascot comes and saves her pretty much from a giant evil robot. She ends up falling in love with it or something or other. Next one is about a girl that gets kidnapped by an evil robot, and her robot servant protector comes and saves her and all that. That's pretty good, really good animated. Then there's this weird artsy Astro Boy type thing where some mechanical boy or something, I guess, goes out in the desert. It's like 5 minutes of just one shot that changes over time, pretty much. Then the kid dies at the end, or something or other. He's granted human by the gods, or something. Anyway, then there's a guy who creates a robot in a robotic society that's very beautiful. Very last-like, so it'll be Android. Sorry, it's how to be Android. She gains a lot of consciousness and awareness. She questions why she was created, so she's this one actually has dialogue. He doesn't like the fact that she questions anything, and then he kills her, and then she comes back, and then they disappear together after 50 years or something like that. Really good animation, kind of disturbing story, kind of there was one, oh yes, here we are. There's this one about the, what if mecha existed in the olden days, and it's just pretty funny. Like, they work with the technology of the time, and it's like the slowest mecha battle ever. It takes them all day to just barely fight, and they had to use up all these different resources and different things. And it has English talk language in it too. It's really good. And then the last one is a Ichabod Crane, a Sleepy Hollow. That right here. I got almost everything here, folks. Yeah, the Sleepy Hollow thing. Oops, let's do part. Yeah. Yeah, I need that. So basically, it's this, the Disney Sleepy Hollow version, but in the anime version, is where this guy on a unibike, motorcycle, like the one from Venus Wars. He gets chased by this entity through this weird construction town, city, skyscraper thing. The other crazy kind of artsy stuff happens. It's pretty good. Kind of weird ending to it. And then that kind of ends the show. Then comes the end credits, which, much like the intro credits, is also just as destructive. So the title credits goes up on top of a hill, conks out, struggles, and then just blows up. Not really much of a spoiler. It's kind of spectacular. Some surviving townfolk or whatever. Some guy takes home this little round metal ball with him, and he shows it to his kids, and it pops into this little ballerina, dances on the tabletop with music playing, and then it blows up the house. I don't know if anyone survives. They just then cut the credits, and that's it. Yeah, so bizarre little story. I recommend it. Robot Carnival, where every day's an adventure. Whatever. Moving on. What do we got here? Okay. Another one I only heard once about, called Mighty... Okay, I'm messing that up. Mighty Space Miners. Mighty Space Miners. Well, it's good. It's awesome. It's the art. The art is similar to that of G Gundam, especially the kid here. He looks a lot like that little kid that calls Domon bro, or big bro. I'm not entirely sure if it's bro or big bro, but yeah, definitely in that vein of style and basically it's 2 episodes, sadly, and it's English dubbed, and it's about a space colony, the first successful space colony, whatever, and they mine the asteroid they live in. It take decades to take apart, or hundreds of years or whatever. It's big. And one day a satellite destroyer comes by, and is accidentally set off, and it pushes the asteroid. It does some sort of explosion thing on the back of it and sends it rocketing towards Earth. And all the mist while our lead character here, what was his name? Yusuke? Earth. Since funds isolated space asteroid animation Yuki? What's his name? Come on. I think tell him by name. Yuki. I forget what his name was. But yeah, he's in the middle of a training exercise when all this stuff just goes down. It's like, oh wait, there goes my home. Okay, and there's the melted debris being flung at me. His little training ship gets busted, and he's on a time scale. He's trying to get his space license, is to be like his dad, which is kind of like the beginning of Alien, with the space truckers, pretty much. So he's on his time limit, and then all this stuff just goes down, and it's like, okay, now not only do I have to get back in time, but I have to deal with everything else that just happened. My ship is wrecked, I'm stranded, and I have no space helmet. Because his robot sidekick, that's why in the cover he's not wearing the helmet. He's not allowed any assistance, and since his helmet he normally has is his robot sidekick, he left the robot sidekick slash helmet behind, and now he's stuck in space without a helmet. So he gets back and everything, and well, you'll see when I release the review. I have that on this computer. Yeah. Best show of a womp noise I ever made. I got talent, people. I got talent. Anyway, so it's like 2 episodes. Next episode he gets back, and people trying to put everything together and try to survive and this and that. And there's like this whole conspiracy or something's going on. It's like, why is there a nuclear device in our basement? And it's like, this whole thing was set up to fail, to be in, from the beginning. Someone had put this like decades in advance, planned this whole thing, this whole scheme. It's like, why aren't you rescuing us because of this? Well, we need the help, so I wonder if we can get out of this thing. Well, we can't do that, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, something's going on here. Anyway, so it ends on a cliffhanger, sadly. Best line I've heard in a while, which is, how you stop the darn thing. Not uttered by our lead character, it's uttered by a other main cast member. And it's good, it's acted well, voice cast took it seriously. Of course, it's by ADV Vision, back in the day. This is one of their first titles, I believe. So ADV Vision. So it's also done by, where is he? Section. Here we are. Written, produced, and directed by Matt Greenfield. Ladies and gentlemen, you can never, ever go wrong with that guy. He's put out some really good dubbings. Really good. Moving on, we have, here's a quickie I could give you a brief history lesson about. Delos. Alright, Moon Station Delos is historically the first, let's see, what was it again? Oh, right. First OVA to ever hit the shelves. It beat out Megazone by that much. But the storylines are drastically different, which is why Delos barely made its money back, while Megazone became a hit. Mega hit. That's why they made 3 others. 2 others, sorry. Megazone 2-3 Part 2 and Megazone 2-3 Part 3. Too bad they could not be made by the same people, or at least the same art director or designer. That'd be kind of nice, unfortunately. So yeah, even though this does have a good story, and also leaves on a cliffhanger, I don't know if there's any more, honestly. But Megazone 2-3 is the superior story. They're superior storytellers, and all that. Not that this doesn't have its merits. This is okay, but Megazone is better. Hands down. Robot Man. Oh God. Robot Man and Friends. Yeah. Okay. I have to go there. Okay. Robot Man and Friends. All H's. Yeah. Okay. Basically, it's a cross between the Tin Man and Care Bears, pretty much, because they do the weird Care Bear stare sort of a thing, where they have like spiritual life energy or whatever comes out of their chest, out of their little heart-shaped chest plates. They beat an evil robot, which I swear on a stack of bargain bin sales, VHSs, sounds exactly like not Megatron. What was it, Megatron? About Galvatron. Galvatron. He sounds more like Galvatron. It's like, that guy sounds a lot like Galvatron. He's evil just like Galvatron too. So yeah, so it's a lot like Care Bears. It's good for what it is. It's a nice little kid story. It's very cheesy, full of fluff. It's full of danger. I'm surprised it's what I believe this was probably also shown alongside the same channel as wherever My Little Pony and Care Bears and possibly G.I. Joe, because it has that weird scary moment like, they just might lose this one. Here we go. Here's another oldie. Okay, now this is the second Poochie I've ever heard of. Remember when Homer was that dog that would be with Itchy and Scratchy? Well, this Poochie made the headlines first. This is the title character, Poochie. It's a talking dog. And she owns a metropolitan newspaper, like the Daily Planet, and is the boss, but no one has ever seen the boss, but knows when Poochie's around, the boss is around, and Poochie pretends to be, well, she is the boss, but talks to everyone via speaker box, like in Charlie's Angels, to the various different employees. And she has a robot butler similar to that of C-3PO, and she's there. She has that management position to the same reason Superman as Clark Kent works at the Daily Planet, because before the onset or the invention of the internet, the newspaper place when people would call in the news for the area or whatnot, or the world news to be printed, that's the fastest way to get information, was people to call it in over the phone lines, wherever their people are. They would call it in, and yeah, it's pretty good. This is a one episode pilot or whatever. Never got picked up by Mattel, if you can believe it. Yeah, Mattel put out a cartoon, people. She gets a written message. Yeah, about how long that took. From South America, that a child writes in saying that her dad was kidnapped or is lost or something. So Poochie takes this. Sorry. So it's running a little dry here, folks. Hold on. That's fair. So Poochie takes it upon herself to take this letter out of all the information, go in her private supersonic jet, because she gets there rather quickly, piloted by this guy, to South America, meets the boy, finds the boy somehow, goes on this adventure, finds the dad in some sort of underground pyramid mine. Apparently this Mayan civilization just lives inside their pyramids only, in some underground cavern or makeshift city or something like that. Apparently that's where they all went. They didn't die out, they just migrated underground. So yeah, she goes with them, they escape, family lives to see another day, and everyone's happy, blah blah blah. So, a bit of fluff, suspension of disbelief, a bit. $1 for that. Here's the good one. Tiny Toon Adventures. How I Spent My Summer Vacation. Ooh. This is good. This is really good. Interesting fun fact. This is where Superman made his first debut. In the storyline of this, it's summer vacation. Buster and Babs get into a big heated water fight when everyone kind of like disperses and goes on their merry way. Um, Buster and Babs get into a water fight, and they eventually get, they go so over the top they fall over a waterfall, and Superman saves them, and Buster and Babs say, "Hey buddy, get your own show," which just came out in '93, I think, or something like that. I'm not entirely sure the exact date. 1991, Warner Brothers. So early '90s, Superman, which was honestly, I believe it's probably by the same animators or something, because these animators went on to do the Animaniacs and all that stuff on Channel 5. So I'm not entirely sure, but the same basic, very, very, very similar styled Superman appeared in his own TV show in the later '90s, like '97-ish, something like that. Anyway, so yeah, this was his first appearance, and then they said get his own show, and apparently a couple of years later he did. So yeah, so basically the story just follows like 6 different pairs or 6 different adventures, pretty much, throughout summer vacation. Interesting little note. Okay, another historical fact. Okay, in this there's the Fifi, the purple skunk. She's trying to meet her favorite actor, and he's like being a bit of a jerk, and he's not like okay. Trying to get to him is hard enough, but she finally does meet him. He's a jerk or whatever. But before that, she is still trying to meet him, like sneaking into the hotel that he's at. And she says, "I am not deterred. It is not over until the fat lady sings." I didn't know about this joke until way later. Then it just makes a whole lot of sense, and I started laughing my ass off about it. But all of a sudden, up in the balcony above Fifi is this kind of pudgy lady that starts screaming, "For the land and of the free and the home of the brave," and falls down off the balcony and onto Fifi. Okay, that whole thing is from when Roseanne Barr, which was on the show Roseanne, which is mega super popular back in the '90s, she was asked, as many celebrities do, to do functions and stuff. She was asked to go and sing the national anthem at a baseball game. She, as the comedian that she is, decided to sing it poorly, and then spit and stuff like a guy, do some guy baseball stuff. Apparently, people really didn't like that. They took that to the extreme offense. Really, really bad. Apparently people take their baseball very seriously. Apparently people who go to baseball games take their gaming very seriously. So that was a major PR disaster, and that was the inspiration for the joke in this. Yeah, many different adventures. I liked it. Fits in well with the continuity of, or the characters of the show. No one goes outside of their range or whatever. Buster and Babs have good quirks, but they keep trying to go back and forth with the jokes a lot fast and do references, name references to each other. Like they keep calling each other different names and stuff, and trying to continue their relations, the romance between them. Of course, is played up for laughs because, of course, Buster can't possibly keep his brain straight for 5 minutes to feel romantic. But yeah, so the quips are the ones that get a little bit hazy because they use old timey stuff in it. Even I don't know all of them. But yeah, it's good. I recommend it. Ooh. Aha! Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, this is a good one. Lupin's Greatest Capers. Yes, that's a good one. Not for kids. That's only because of Fujiko. Now, this is by the, like I said before, U.S. companies tend to get licensing for this stuff. The Orion home video, which got the thing for this and dubbed it and everything, with Streamline Pictures. Nice people. Can never go wrong with them either. This is the, okay. The Lupin series had the leading director or writer, but was in charge of pretty much a lot of the first series of the Lupin and many of the movies. That's why a lot of the design and story stuff is very similar to the Studio Ghibli's work, because it has Hayao Miyazaki doing both. That's why in the back here you'll see a robot that looks a lot like the robot from Castle in the Sky. See, and a lot of the artwork, designs, and clothing and stuff is a lot like Hayao Miyazaki's stuff. Oh, an interesting note: this Lupin sounds slightly different, but is more believable than the current voice actor that does Lupin, because the current voice actor of Lupin is Krillin, the Funimation Krillin from DBZ, which honestly does not sound like any Lupin I've ever seen. And it's really distracting, because you're in, cool, Lupin, and then all of a sudden it comes the voice of Krillin, which is obviously the Funimation Krillin, and it's like, okay, we have Krillin voicing Lupin, why? I don't know. It gets very distracting, especially in the movies. It's just the high pitch and easily voice, and it's just like, oh, no. Guys, come on now. It's Krillin. We know it's Krillin. You can't not recognize Krillin, so you have to take yourself out of the movie more so just to enjoy the plot. Character acting's fine. It's just the wrong character actor. It's too recognizable. Clark Kent is Superman. There's no... Sorry, you can't put... There's not glasses... There are not a pair of glasses big enough to hide it. It just isn't. I'm sorry. It's a fact. So yeah, good Lupin, good voice acting. Of course not for kids because of Fujiko. You get kind of... Well... it's kind of obvious on the cover. Yeah, so good action, good explosions, good time. Oh, more banes of my existence. Now, the few things, especially of anime, I hate. Now, let me repeat that again. I hate. This is one of them. Clash of the Bionoids. Yeah. Okay. History time again. Alright. Back in the 80s, when anime was on its upswing, rapid upswing, there was a series called Macross. It was brought over, part of Robotech, blah 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 blah. First story arc that was edited together poorly, I might add. It's the 80s. They were selling this stuff to kids. I mean, really, it's kids. They could get away with it, but you have to think about it. It really takes you out of it. It's like, it's 3 separate stories basically telling the same story. You can't keep... And then where did everybody go? You can't just stop one story arc, start another on the same place. It's like, but then, what about the first people? We never found out what happened to the first people. Anyway. So, success of said series, which is a mega hit, prompted a movie which was basically a retelling of the first story arc, which was Macross. Okay, I love that movie. Actually, I have that movie in the original dialogue, original Japanese version. This was dubbed by Toho. Oh, I feel bad for them. They done such good work, and then suddenly they did this, and it's just, oh god. Okay, they're trying to take Asian actors that speak English and dub this in English, and they're okay. But the thing is, you cannot have the entire cast of okay English-speaking people. Their pronunciation just is not. No. Everyone just sounds. Yeah. A for effort, guys. A for effort. Yeah, okay. But then it gets bad at the end. Really bad. Editing wise, hatchet to the face bad. There's 15 minutes at the end, right? They cut it down to 7. They take out, because there's this big musical number at the end where Min-Mei sings. She sings one verse, and then it's just melody, 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 melody. And we're like, wait, there was a cut there. I thought there was definitely a cut there, and it's like, and then it's over, and it's like, okay, we won, and that's it. There's only like one verse in this entire song. No, there's like 15 minutes of song, 15 minutes of end here, and it's just hacked, just blatantly hacked. So the English dubbing done by an Asian company is just not up to par. It just isn't. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. A for effort. You tried. You tried your darndest. I saw that. I picked up on it. You tried. But the only convincing, and I made a review by this, by the way, so it's on the review, is that this, the only convincing line in this entire movie is when Roy Fokker is drunk. That's his best acting moment. A man needs all of his courage. Yeah. Best acting line in the entire movie. Everyone else's emotions aren't really quite there, really. Doesn't feel like they've got the timing right for the emotion, or the emotional punch. It's either overplayed or underplayed, or just a few seconds off with their sentencing, you know. And then the ending was just appalling. It's like, wait, what was that? You can't just cut here. Wait, there's a cut, there's a cut, there's a cut, and it's just plainly obvious. It's right there. You don't have to be an expert to realize cut. It's all just cuts. It's like every other shot. It's just a cut. Like they needed to cut it down to closest to an hour as possible. And it really shows. It really just kills the whole thing. That's why I don't really watch this. Even though, yeah, I do prefer, I support dubbing with all my heart. But sometimes it just doesn't always work. This is one case in particular. That's why I watch the original dub. It's better. A for effort, guys. A for effort. Well, here we go. Mega Zone 2-3 Part 1. Now, I've referenced this. It also has the little sticker on it, because it's also done by the Orion Streamline people. Good people. Yeah, so this is really good. This is the first English dub, because it's Streamlined way back in the day, just before the I believe the ADV version, I believe. I first realized the differences in the dialogue between this and when I got the DVD. There was a difference in the dialogue, particularly with the Shugo. I first noticed it, and then I noticed all the rest of the lines were not the same as before, and I realized there were two different dubbing animation companies, animation dubbing companies. So they're both good, I support both of them. One has more 80s kind of pop culture joke-ish to it. This one's okay too. Moving on. Nothing down here. Here's a quick one. Katie the Caterpillar. Caterpillar. That's really good. It's basically what it sounds. It's just a caterpillar in the woods. It's really good. Nothing too memorable there. Here we go. Light Years. This is a French film. 70s, late 70s. You could tell by the architecture and styling. About a mysterious army that shows up. The original title is called Machine Man vs. Gundar. Light Years is just from the tagline from the movie poster. Yeah, I did a review on this. It's very good. I recommend it. The metal army shows up out of nowhere. Starts conquering, not really conquering, but like comes in and then just like steals people. You know, pretty much. But it's like no one left. So when people come to investigate, say what happened to these people, we haven't heard from them. It's just nobody's there. It's like, where'd everyone go? They were kidnapped by armored robots and taken to the future. I know, right? Strange. But yeah. So then the blue people, I don't know if they tell they're blue, pretty much. Yeah. They send their prince alone for some reason. 300 seem a lot more realistic. Where you send the army to handle this. But apparently they're peaceful people, and they sent in the scientist's son, the scientist kid, to find this out. He finds love, finds the answer, and then gets stuck in carbonite for 1,000 years. Or, glowing pink encasement, pretty much. So might as well be carbonite. Yeah, he gets stuck in there. Goes to the future. It's the only way he gets to the future. Saves everyone, and then comes back. Oh, he also meets mutants, too. Yeah, he meets mutants. It's a good thing. I made a mini review on that earlier. Let's see what we got here. Here we go. Catch-Up Vampires 1 and 2. Catch-Up Vampires is hosted by Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Yeah, Elvira. It's a interesting little story. A bit long on both of them. They're like an hour plus or something like that. The story kind of drags. It's basically drama. Vampires are pretty much trying to kick the habit, and so they're converting to tomato juice. A lot of drama ensues. It's just a standard young teen or preteen love story with the background of all these vampires and stuff. It's pretty good. It dragged a bit. The animation's a bit subpar, but I like it. Little Monsters, or Unis. I got the original title. It's good. I like it. It's basically these guys, these little demons versus aliens. I think that's pretty good. The Brave Frog, which is also an anime. These are the same voice actors that were in Macross because the voice acting studio that did the dubbing is Harmony Gold, which is the same people that did Macross, that dub Macross. Yeah, the female frog in the Brave Frog right there. Yeah, right there. Yeah, her. She is voiced by Reba West. which is the um, the voice actress that did Lin Min May. River West. You can never go wrong with her beautiful singing voice. Yes. Halloween Tree, as seen on Cartoon Network. Halloween Tree, basically, it's about this group of friends, and their main friend, he's like the Twilight Sparkle of the group, I guess. He can like do anything. He's like Maniac McGee, if you ever read those stories. He can do like anything, any of those. And they say like when he was born, all the soda bottles in the world exploded at once. You know, it's like, okay, I guess he's some sort of weird hick second coming, but okay. Like what? Whatever. So yeah, so this kid is special somehow, but he doesn't really do anything. What he does is he gets sick. Excuse me, my voice is very dry from all this talking. Yeah, so the opening of the story, it gives his basic backstory that he's special, but he gets sick, some unnamed disease, or something happens to him. He's just sick, he gets hospitalized, and then his ghost leads the group to an old mansion that they've never seen before. They live in the area, and they've never seen that particular mansion up on the hill behind the forest before, like, ever. I know, right? His ghost leads them to the Halloween tree, which they get said pumpkin from, which is all where the souls of children go when they die on Halloween, or something like that. Anyway, this kid, the second in command, or whatever, or was it this kid in second in command? Yeah, this kid, second in command. Wait, where's the other kid? There's supposed to be two. There's supposed to be one other kid. The other, it's missing a kid. Yeah, it's missing a kid. It was a hunchback. He goes on this wild adventure with the group, trying. They meet this right. They meet this Dracula person, type-isk person, right there, and he takes them on this. He skylarks them on this voyage through time and space to all the various different holidays of the dead, celebrations of the dead, various different countries and religions and customs and stuff. So they go to I think it was the Mayan temple, or basically the South, pretty much, like Mexico and whatever. They go to the Day of the Dead. They go to the 16th temple. They go to the wherever the Hunchback is, where the Hunchback of Notre Dame thing was at. They go there. They go into the middle of the woods for the witch. They go to one more. I think they go to Egypt. I'm not entirely sure. I think it was Egypt. And anyway, each time they learn a little something about the back history. So it's basically it's like fantasy history lesson. I'm not sure entirely how accurate these are, but basically they learn a lesson, they give up a portion of their lives, and they bring back the kids. So even though the story is about this guy, we hardly ever really see him do anything except keep whining about how weak he feels. So for being incredibly special, he constantly needs his ass saved by his friends. Yeah. But it's a really good story to follow. I sound like such a reviewer. The lead character, but he sucks. Yeah. And then what's left here? Okay, yeah. Okay. Here we go. Here's a good one. Well, another last, nearing the end of the history lesson here, folks. Filmation. Sorry. Filmation. Filmation. Now, back in the day, Filmation did TV shows such as Brave Star, you know, that whole thing. And it did a few movies, a string of movies actually. This is one of them. They decided to do adapted sequels to popular fairy tales. Unfortunately, Disney did adapted first movies of those fairy tales. So Filmation got sued by Disney because Disney already put out the first movie for Pinocchio. But this is Pinocchio versus the Night Emperor, which is incredibly good. I liked it. I saw the ending as a child. I was just memorized by it. Really good animation. Filmation does really excellent animation when they put their mind to it. They do some creative licensing for the story elements. So it's not a direct sequel, it's an adapted sequel, but it's really good. It's right up there with Pinocchio in Space, which my friend showed me once. It's really good. Good angles for 1960 or early 70. There. Oh, one cropped. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so it's really good. I recommend it. Here we go. Here we go. Right here. Yeah. There we go. Alright, I guess I'll make this my last one because that's pretty much everything I'd like to share with you guys. So we need to wrap this up at about an hour. Alright. Alright. 3 minutes left on the clock here. Let's do this. Alright. This is another Filmation adapted sequel of Happily Ever After. Or, as I like to call it, a blatant lip, or as Disney would like to call it, a blatant rip-off of their product, Sleeping Beauty. Or was it Snow White? Snow White or Sleeping Beauty? Oh, Snow White. Yeah, Snow White. They're first one. They both get woken up by a kiss. That's what threw me. Sorry. Yeah, so Filmation did an adapted sequel of Snow White. But they also brought in some heavy hitters to this one. So not only do we have stellar animation, stellar storytelling, we also have a stellar voice cast to go with this. We have Ed Eisner as the owl. We have Irene Cara as Snow White. Carl Channing as Muddy. Dom DeLuise as the Looking Glass. Underplayed there. I mean, they should have given him a bigger role. He just rhymes a lot. I mean, he's kind of stuck there on the wall. Malcolm McDowell from Franklin and Bash, Lex, Tank Girl, and Fantasy Island, the remake, or whatever, the more recent one. Yeah, that Malcolm McDowell. As Lord Malice. Yeah, maybe he's evil. How about that? Maybe it might be something in the name. Zsa Zsa Gabor as Blossom. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot to mention. Okay, the 7 dwarves aren't in this thing. They are referenced. They are referenced, but for the creative licensing for the adaptation, they decided to go with the seven dwarfs cousins or their no, it's either their cousins or uh, or okay, yeah, the castle. So it is assisted by the dwarf elves, seven whimsical, comical little ladies with magical powers over the earth, elements, and animals. Yeah, so they're time sharing the dwarf's cottage. That's what it was. There's like a million of these things, so trying to get all the details right just in one is a bit difficult. It's really good. So the dwarf elves, for creative licensing, are good. They're likable. They're, you could tell they're very different, so you can't confuse one with the other. Each one has like their own personality, so it's like Happy, Sneezy, Dopey, and Doc. We have each different one has a different element. So one is, even though they all have like basic character archetypes. One's constantly angry, one's constantly happy, one's constantly mellow, one's constantly hyper. And each one has their own particular element that they follow behind. So they'll have like earth and fire and plants and water and stuff like that, and sunshine. Zsa Zsa Gabor as Blossom, Sally Kellerman as Sunburn, and Phyllis Diller as Mother Nature, and Tracy Ullman as Thumbelina. No, sorry, Thundara, sorry. Yeah, so that's it. That's there's others, but they're not as noticeable titles as these. And yeah, these are all I have converted. I have it on my new VCR here, right there. And yeah, so I have this wire here at least there. It's a big technical thing. Yeah, so I convert this stuff to disc, and then I just give this stuff to Goodwill, pretty much. Or if anyone wants to buy them, I have no idea how to do that. But hey, if you're interested, or if you want me to mail it to you for free or whatever, I don't know how that would really work. If I can make money selling the original to someone. I think if I made a copy then sold that copy or copies, people, I think it's wrong. But I don't know if I sell the original I bought for 50 cents to people for, I don't know, like $2 or whatever. I don't know if that's legal or not. Or whatever. I don't know. But if anyone is interested in having the original and just wants it for free or whatever, hey, I'm up for it. I'll shell out the 50 cents or whatever for the stamp or stamps, depending how far it has to go. So yeah, so that's my collection, and I have a lot more to do. Yeah. Miles to go, people. Miles to go. And there's still more in the closet. Yeah, that's a whole separate section. So this is going to take me a while. So, yeah. So that's it. Thank you for sitting through this little rant of my converted collection that I have done so far. I have others, but those are haven't been. It's a process. Those were digitized and scanned, so I have the front covers. So I have the covers front and back on my computer, so I could print out them for later use. So if I ever do convert it to if I ever put them onto an actual DVD book instead of just putting them in the case or whatever, I can do something for the front and back. But if I have it just for the disc like this, then I'll just have to just put the cover on the front, and that's pretty much about it. It depends on the squish squash ratio, but I will have to figure that out when I come to it. So yeah, so that's converted and scanned, and then there's a whole pile over there that's just converted that I still need to scan. I really need to get to that because that's just piling up like crazy. Then all the rest that's over here that just needs to be digitized and taken care of in the first place. So yeah, miles to go. Thank you for sticking with me and for watching this little rant of my converted collection. Take care, and see you all in Season 4 of MLP. I'll be recording that as well. See you then. Bye.